Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So, is there a certain initiation process involved in becoming a Death Eater? Certain standards one has to meet in order to become a member of the Dark Lord's inner circle? We know he was very selective with some, not so selective with others, and despite obvious strength shown by some potential candidates, still chose to exclude them due to their blood status. So back to the opening question, is there a Death Eater initiation process? From the information and research I've gathered, I've put together what I believe is a close enough process to the real thing should it have been revealed in the books. Let's take a look. Well, let's start with a couple of definite requirements to even qualify to become a Death Eater. Blood status. I think it's pretty clear that any candidate would have to be at least half-blood, either with a pure-blood parent and a Muggle parent, or a pure-blood parent and a Muggle-born magical parent. Either way, the person would have to show a serious disdain for their Muggle heritage, to the point that they would abdicate any family inheritance, completely disown their Muggle parent, and walk away from their family should Voldemort see fit, even if he didn't command them to. Voldemort wants to see loyalty, undying loyalty. Take Bellatrix Lestrange for example, a woman that was ready to kill anyone and everyone, all in her master's name, and she did, killing her own cousin and her niece. Talent was also a big factor in deciding if the Dark Lord would accept someone into his inner circle. He only wanted the best, the skillful and the powerful, as these would be the people he'd be trusting to carry out assigned missions. Take Severus Snape for example, extremely gifted at potions, even more so than Voldemort, greatly skilled with a wand and had a vast knowledge of dark arts along with other aspects of magic. He was useful, he provided value, and speaking of value, no other person provided value quite like Lucius Malfoy. An avid pureblood supremacist, a strong family heritage of purebloods, extremely wealthy, influential amongst his peers in school and the ministry, he was the prime candidate for a Death Eater, a highly ranked Death Eater at that. It's no surprise he was Voldemort's number 2 during the First Wizarding War. The three individuals mentioned all offer Voldemort something different, but most importantly, something valuable. It was criteria such as this that made one appealing to the Dark Lord. After all, he recruited those whom he believed were worthy of such an honour, and in return this honour gained him their loyalty. Now, judging by the standards of acceptance, you'd think that Voldemort has made very good choices when selecting his inner circle members, and he has, except for one or two individuals. Case in point, Peter Pettigrew. As much as it goes through my mind, I genuinely struggle to understand why exactly this man was given the Dark Mark, let alone even be allowed to join Voldemort's ranks, and that's down to the fact that he only cares about self-preservation. I've spent a considerable amount of time working that reason out in a separate video that you can check out at the end of this one. So let's take a look at the initiation process. There's no doubt that receiving the Dark Mark is considered the highest honour amongst Voldemort's followers, so some sort of ceremony would be held. Whether receiving the Dark Mark is painful or not is unknown, although due to the connection it establishes with Voldemort himself, I can imagine it to be somewhat uncomfortable, with having dark magic flow through your body, leaving a skeleton tattoo behind that burns painfully should your master call. There would also be an oath involved. Now, it's been said that those who follow Voldemort have sworn a lifetime of service or death, and I believe that it's included in the oath they recite. Something along the lines of, "My lord, I swear to you a lifetime of service, that I may carry out your work even if it means my death." Guys, don't quote me on that, I literally just made it up for the sake of the video. However, before any of the oaths, dark marks or ceremonies even come close to taking place, in order to be welcomed into the Dark Lord's innermost trusted circle, a certain level of trust must be gained. Once again, how this idiot got past that mark is a mystery, but moving on. And a show of loyalty too. It could be two possibilities in my opinion. The first is a straight up test, a straightforward test to murder a Muggle or a Muggle born blood traitor to show your loyalty to the cause. The second possibility is that one could be accepted into the Dark Lord's ranks due to their sheer dedication to Voldemort, like consecutive killings and torture in the Dark Lord's name, something he would surely take into account, along with how successful the person is as part of missions being led by someone of higher rank. Either way, once the initiation process is completed, the Dark Mark remains on the bearer's arm for life, even after the Dark Lord's death. Anyone with a Dark Mark would never be able to remove it. It was quite a powerful piece of dark magic. Another example of the Dark Lord's incredible talent for the creation of spells, not just perfecting existing magic. Once in Voldemort's inner circle and bearing the Dark Mark, they would be assigned their own legion of followers to command on behalf of the Dark Lord. These followers were all types of breeds, those that Voldemort didn't consider worthy enough to be initiated into the Death Eaters, but was happy enough to see them die for him regardless. The final piece of the initiation would be for the newly appointed Death Eater to receive their mask and robes. Whether Voldemort chose their mask is unclear, but it's my own belief that the person in question chose their own mask design as a reflection of their own dark personality based on the patterns they choose. It's also important to note that nothing comes before their duty to the Dark Lord. All other matters are second, be it relationships, children, their normal day working job. They also need to be aware that their lives will change completely now that they are working for Lord Voldemort. They will be on the Ministry radar and need to adjust to a life on the run until Voldemort completes his successful assault on the wizarding world. As I mentioned, they are expected to die for the Dark Lord if required so. Understanding that their own existence comes second to the Dark Lord is also vital. I believe that's the stumbling block that Regulus Black came across when he became a Death Eater so young. Regulus has lived nothing but pure blood ideologies. He wanted to be part of the change until he realised just how deep he had gotten himself in what was required of him. Like, for example, sacrificing his elf creature so that the Dark Lord could test the powers of his emerald potion on the poor elf. That must have been awful to watch. So many young and new Death Eaters get caught up in the excitement of being part of Voldemort's inner circle that they forget how serious a pledge they've made to him is, and that big expectations are now on their shoulders. Anyway everyone, that's my own take on what's required in order to become a Death Eater. If there is anything you want to add to this video in terms of additional reasons that you believe is required to be a Death Eater, then please do so below. You know what, I will pick my favourite comment and I will pin it to the top of the comments section. Remember guys, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to click like on this video. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever. So please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do, it's my dream and my passion. However, it does cost time and money to produce this content, so if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video. Please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDNJ and on Twitter at PotterFolklore. Check out my other videos appearing on screen, and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone, and please have a great day.